I can only tell a no-spine broken story with this one tongue I have. Sharp, like my mother's body as she cuts through these years. My son, with a set of hands you can build a life here, a family, even a home. From airport runways and ocean docks, but she failed to mention that it's always going to feel like a revolution, like a forceful cultural diffusion, aimless in my seasick confusion, my seclusion as a womb-scented child taught me that building something stable on water dragged in from the sea is an accolade no one seems to see. These people don't know. They wear their shoes inside the house. They don't know the struggle in finding home. They were born into a position of power. They choke on generational wealth. They never had to sacrifice a childhood to become an American, and yet here I am speaking, not them. My ancestors dipped their palms into soil daily so life can spring from my two hands now, wringing that freedom from the flag, ringing a revolution, I tell you. The closest home after leaving China's womb is Chinatown, where I feel like a treasured son. Walking down its desperate streets of wannabe motherlands, wrinkled shopkeepers who speak foodzoneese and cut up roasted duck and throw noodles into a soup bowl for a semblance of home and cradle. And I bow down to wash their cracked feet, grieving over the dynasty bloodline running wild within their body but flowing to a halt in mine. They slowly dwindled over the years, retracing footsteps whenever they fell ill in the name of treatment. But the truth is brazen like the stores they left empty in the morning. The truth is like a morning. The truth is they left to die in the arms of the familiar. Back at the womb now like a tomb surrounded by shared wounds. It takes some horse heart to spend your life getting somewhere only to return with injuries. Finally homesick in your last hour, dying to see your mother's grave one last time, tired, labored, not wanting to take your final breath in a strange country that only took yours. Don't you know? To them, America is a lifeline that takes their bones as payment. It is a land famous for its aftertaste, as sweet as Chinese mangoes in Changle. Our Changle Ziguang huddled in cargo ships, choking the foreign out of a lung below deck, with hands cupped around a wicked flame, burning like a revolution held with absolution before burning out in New York City, the first place touched by my grandparents' crinkled souls. A deathbed for those who arrived expecting to see an American dream only to realize they are yet another brick. That city, with its stifling four-wall apartments, can barely even hold a mattress on the floor, let alone life, and yet still, my grandmother slipped on her shoes and walked out into the same streets where the blood we inherit is now spilled, but she didn't know. She looked at all of the avenues and streets and eventually returned back to that apartment, convinced she was exactly who people said she was: visitor, foreigner, a Laureate in her own right, and me, with a ship's worth of rust on my Mandarin tongue. Carry the hope to sail through the Pacific and not be pacified, to inherit an entire country on my face, pulling my mouth open for a single rice grain, to grow the confusion into a revolution, allowed to be, as always, the most wild I can manage in a land sacrificed for, still digging up that buried flag with every I pledge of allegiance from my lips. I close my eyes in homage of the ships that forgot to offer its hull to us, drowning the family in that shared eerie silence. But I didn't know. It was festering on the bottom side of our tongues, like barnacles on a dead whale at sea, neither here nor there. But look, aren't I still shining? Aren't I still hoping? We still living, we still dreaming, we still ascending here. Not for the racist American dream, but for a future handmade. For an American story ferried here by boats, remaining true blue to an Asian red. For our 新的革命, bursting like firecrackers. Beside a roaring river, I taste a freedom, like crawling out from below deck to see iron giants, like ringing ears after the forced formal, like late night walks to an already closed Starbucks, like laughing in spite of it all, like being able to work twice as hard to keep up, like we started from the depths and somehow we're floating above the sky, like this ship is sailing vertically. Like I was nameless and shy a year ago and now I'm performing, carrying an entire generation's hurt and loss as their hope, until we make Shipfall with an N.